Hello everybody, welcome back to Sonic Origins. My name is Don, and this is one of the best games ever conceived by man. It is Sonic the Hedgehog 2 on the Sega Genesis. And we have a whole bunch of characters that weren't there before, just ignore them. Ignore all of them. I'm playing as Tails right now. The reason why I'm playing as Tails is because there are subtle changes made to him in the collection, like the fact that he can actually fly now. You could not do so in the original Sonic 2 whenever you played as him, so that's change number one. Another change in the Origins collection are how the special stages work. Well, firstly we have to make it to a checkpoint with 50 rings. No longer do we have to get 50 rings and make it to the end of the stage like in Sonic 1 and CD. And you could possibly get all of the Chaos Emeralds and Emerald Hill if you truly want to. But I'm not going to front load part 1 with all the Chaos Emerald sections, I'm just not. We're gonna play the game naturally, get the Chaos Emeralds as we go. I do get all the Chaos Emeralds by time of either Casino Night or Hilltop. And speaking of which, the special stages. They are in full 3D. Or at least polygonal 3D. Everything is much smoother here. It makes the half-pipe sections in Origins a lot more fair because you can actually see what's going on. However, these are still the Sonic 2 special stages you know and love, which means they are still challenging. So what you need to do is get a certain amount of rings before you make it to the goal. Like right there, I got 54 rings for the 40 ring threshold. Now I just need to get 70, which I know damn well I'm gonna do. Even though these stages are memorization based, a neat trick you want to do, or at least attempt to do, is go with the flow of the pipes. So say for example the pipe is going left. Chances are the rings are going to appear on the right side of the pipe. It's not 100% all the time, but it is 9 times out of 10. Now all we need to do is get 130 rings, which is really a piece of cake right here. I mean, come on, it's the first special stage. And just wait until special stages 4, 5, and 6. That's when the shit gets real. Now you do want to watch out for the bombs. The black and red bombs, they will take off 5 or 10 rings. And you really want to be careful if you're playing as Sonic and Tails because not only is the ring count double, but Tails lags behind you. Which means you move and then Tails moves half a second later, gets hit by a bomb, and loses you your precious rings. So there is a bit more detriment to playing as both Sonic and Tails as opposed to either one of them stand alone. But with that said, we just got a Chaos Emerald, and there are now 7 Chaos Emeralds to collect. And that's another difference I did not notice. It's kind of subtle. After you exit a special stage in the original Sonic 2, you lose all of your rings, but here it seems like you keep them. I'm trying to think, because if you lock on Sonic and Knuckles and play as Knuckles in Sonic 2, that was also a mechanic. I guess that's a means of preventing players from getting cheaply killed on the way out of special stages, but then again, checkpoints are placed right next to rings. Or at least most of them are. I can count on one hand, actually no, one finger, how many checkpoints in this game are right next to deadly objects. Anyway, here's special stage 2. This one will give you more rings, but in return, will give you more bombs. Which one do you want? But you should be able to get used to the stage's controls, which means they will get easier over time. That is until special stage 5 comes knocking on your door and kicks you in the face. Let's talk about the fox in the room, the Fox Boy. Tails Prower, also known as Tails. This was his first appearance, and ever since Sonic 2, Tails has appeared in almost every other mainline Sonic game. So what can I say about this orange bastard right here? Well, I like his character. Back then. Back in the day, I liked his character. I don't know what Sega's fascination of turning Tails back into a coward is for, but he grew past that in Sonic Adventure 1. Why are you going back? The modern Tails frustrates me a lot. But if you looked at the opening cutscene from earlier, Tails was bullied by, I think there were other foxes, or I don't even know what those creatures were, but I'm gonna assume they're foxes. That was ripped straight out of Sonic X. Well, the bullying angle was from Sonic X. I kind of forgot what the animals were in the original anime. But that's how Tails met Sonic. Sonic was going to Westside Island for reasons unknown. I guess he was on vacation and he just decided to beat up the bullies because, well, he played bully and he really liked Jimmy Hopkins. And that's my headcanon anyway. He just lets Tails ride along because he needs a partner. That's how cool Sonic is. He's like, yeah, sure, why not? In fact, Sonic does not hate anybody, including Eggman, a person who has threatened to destroy the world multiple times and probably has destroyed the world like 3 times before. Sonic does not hate him. Which circles around to the question of why doesn't Sonic just kill Eggman is because, well, Sonic doesn't want to. He still sees the good in Eggman. And we do too. Though movie Sonic, on the other hand, that's a different story. That's the greatest Batman is Sonic question ever. Though, to be fair, there is no good in Joker. How does Batman keep letting Joker get away with the shit? At least with Eggman, he does have some good qualities. Joker, on the other hand, what the hell? Don't even know where that tangent came from. I'm not playing a Batman game, damn it. I'm playing Sonic. Anyway, the speed shoes make a return, and here you could just absolutely go ham because you get run damn near off the screen here. And since Sonic 2 places more emphasis on horizontal movement in wide open areas, you could run to your heart's content. The Special Stage 3 ups the ante a little bit, but not hard as of yet. We still got 2 more to go before things get insane. That's what I like about Sonic 2 compared to Sonic 1 and, in some ways, Sonic CD. Level progression and level design is way better. The stages get harder naturally. There's not like a weird spike in difficulty all of a sudden. Or a Labyrinth Zone. Though there is Metropolis Zone, but I actually like Metropolis Zone. I think it's one of the cooler stages in this game. Hot take, I know, but a stage everybody hates, I love for some reason. I guess I'm truly not a Sonic fan. But getting back on the subject of Sonic 2's pacing, there are now 2 acts to each zone, barring Metropolis, of course. And then the last 3 zones are more standalone, so in total, Sonic 2 has about 9 to 10 zones. But they breeze by so quickly you wouldn't even notice. Although the reason I'm taking my sweet time with Emerald Hill is because, well, we got some emeralds to search for. To be honest, I'm usually done with Emerald Hill in like 2 minutes flat. You can jump in these stages, which is really useful for these bombs that like to surround the half-pipe. Oh my god! Well, looks like I screwed that one up. Not enough rings. Oh, your mother doesn't have enough rings. Now, in the Origins collection, you can retry the special stages, which was not a feature in the original Sonic 2. You have to make it back to another checkpoint. You know damn well I'm gonna abuse it for these stages. I don't have time. I'm not playing on the Genesis anymore. Besides, I also have the Sonic 2 cartridge right next to me. I'm just playing the Origins version because it has the extra features and it's more convenient. It's like, say for example, the X-Men collection that came out a couple of months ago, and it has Silver Surfer on it. Do you want to play the NES version where you get bullied all the time and, you know, get a game over, you have to start the game over? Or do you want to play the collection with the save states so you can learn the game? I think that X-Men collection also has a rewind feature, so you don't even have to use the save states. You just... Oh, I didn't die. Okay, let's keep going. Luckily, Sonic the Hedgehog 2, or any of the Sonic games for that matter, is not as devious as Silver Surfer. Nowhere near close. Unless we're talking like Sonic 2 on the Game Gear, but still. Sometimes we just need more convenient options for older games. Anyway, here's the first boss of the game, the Drill Tank, and it's probably the most simple boss in Sonic history. He just drives back and forth. You do want to be careful though, because when he's on his last hit, Eggman will shoot out the drill, which you could just jump over. My god, Robotnik, what are you doing? Look, I ran out of options, okay? I just laid off my robot working force. It was getting too expensive. Man, you don't even pay your force. Exactly. I know bringing logic into a Sonic game is like bringing logic into a Mario game and that it's a dangerous practice, but where is Eggman getting all this money to make this stuff? Anyway, here's the second zone of the game, Chemical Plant, and just look at how cool the background is. It is so badass. it's like, I feel like it wouldn't be out of place in the Streets of Rage game, but it also has that Sonic identity that makes it look unique. But that's besides the point. How does Chemical Plant fare as the second stage? Well, it's pretty good. I can see why people say that this is their favorite zone in the game, and it's one of my favorite zones too, but I think there are other zones in Sonic 2 that are better. And also just the modern game's overexposure to Chemical Plant. I mean, come on, there are other zones besides Chemical Plant. Use those too! But this is the stage of the game where speed boosters are introduced, and you'll go flying through the level. Modern Sonic games would run these staples into the ground, but here is a fantastic way to get around. I mean, look at this, we're already at the end of Act 1. This is what these stages look like when you're not emerald hunting. But then again, I'm not even sure where some of these checkpoints are in Act 1 of Chemical Plant, so that's probably why. I just essentially took the quickest way out of the stage. Oh, come on, I could have gotten a better time bonus than that, you cheapskate. I'll take the 3 coins though. In the original 2 Sonic games, you get continues. And if I remember correctly, I think you start out with no continues. At least in Sonic 1, I'm not sure about Sonic 2. But you have to earn those continues. Sonic CD and Sonic 3 would add in a save feature so you can save your progress, and then Sonic and Knuckles just went back to the credit system. Well, Sonic and Knuckles stand alone, but if you connected Sonic 3 to Sonic and Knuckles, as it was intended to be, then the whole thing just has a save feature. We'll get to that when we actually get to Sonic 3 and Knuckles. Those games were just too big. Too big for one cart. But that ambition was what made it so fantastic. Gonna skip the special stages for now. You have a lot of opportunities to get these Chaos Emeralds up until Wing Fortress. And that is the final stage, or the second and final stage, so you have a lot of chances. A lot of time. Get this. Grand total of 62 checkpoints on the whole entire game. Usually 8 per zone. I've been playing this game for about as long as Sonic 1 now, so I know the ins and outs. I know the ins and outs of Sonic 2. It's like a glove. Sonic CD, different story. I didn't play that until way later, like mid-teenager. And Sonic 3, that was also like later, but I think I was like 9 or 10 when I first played Sonic 3. But Sonic 1 and 2, man, these games are pretty much there since birth, and I've had the luxury of playing them ever since. Anyway, here's the next boss of the game. It is the Water Eggman, also known as the Egg Poison. And he's trying to dump toxins on you. As Tails, he could trivialize this boss fight by flying above him. He will never hit you. Though in the original game, there was a glitch to where if you duck, Eggman can never hit you too as he's dropping the acid. Might be a broken hitbox thing, but it worked to your favor back then. Oh, and also for some reason the water is now toxic to the touch, even though it wasn't earlier? I don't get it. Maybe it's a mechanism inside Eggman's tank, I'm not sure. Anyway, here's Aquatic Ruin Zone. This is the dedicated water level of Sonic 2. Though, the good thing about Sonic 2 is that you don't even have to touch the water if you don't want to. You stay on the upper levels of the zone and you'll be alright. Also, I forgot to mention this, but in Sonic 1, and in Sonic 2, these enemies are called grounders, the ones with the drills on their nose. Even though these enemies technically appeared in Sonic 1 first, the Sonic 2 variants led to Grounder from the Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog. Not to mention Coconuts the monkey, he actually appeared in Emerald Hill, though another different variant from the cartoon version. And you may be wondering about fan favorite henchman Scratch. Oh, don't you worry, my boy's in the game. He shows up in the form of Cluckers in Wing Fortress Zone. A bit more of a looser inspiration, but you can see it. In fact, Scratch's Japanese name is indeed Cluck the Chicken. Which sounds like a dirty joke, but trust me, that is his name in Japan. Now here's Act 2 of Aquatic Ruin, and at some point I'm going to dip into the water to see if Tails can actually swim in this game, because he can fly. I don't see why he cannot swim either. The swim controls act similarly to how Tails can fly, except he cannot attack enemies with his tails. You know, helicopter blades. Mouse's tails is made out of adamantium or some sort of sterner stuff for some reason. It's a great big mystery as to what exactly mutated Tails. Oh my god! Aquatic Ruins has some pretty dickish level design. And another hot take, I think Aquatic Ruins is even more dickish than Metropolis. Though with Aquatic Ruins it is over in like 2 seconds, so I will give it that over Metropolis. You know, this came up in my mind and there's a pretty funny story about this. My aunt and my cousin had a Sega Genesis and Sonic 2, and so did our family, so whenever we took road trips to my aunt's house and I just see Sonic 2, I'm like, wait, when did you get our cartridge? I was such a young kid, I didn't know this game sold millions. Hell, I didn't even know Sonic was even this popular until the internet. Now you got fan animations of Sonic, you got actual movies about Sonic. There was Chris Chan at one point. Anyway, here's the next boss of the game, the Egg Hammer. It's hammer time. It seems like Eggman as well as Amy love their hammers because they use them a lot. Anyway, the strategy for this boss fight is to get on one of these 2 totem poles and wait for Eggman to get near you so you can jump on him. And in the collection, it seems like the totem poles are like a football field away from each other. In the original game, they were much closer. Anyway, when Eggman strikes down the hammer on the totem pole, arrows will shoot out. You want to avoid the arrows. And you can also use the arrows to get up to the tops of these totem poles. I really should have repurposed the hammer for the tank. I'll think about it next time. Anyway, that's going to do it for part 1 of Sonic the Hedgehog 2. I'll see you guys on Wednesday where we avoid the evils of gambling and Casino Night Sound.